Hello, I am Jacqueline Joyce Revere. In my channel, I talk about stuttering, health, screenwriting, and dementia caregiving for my mom. I am a TV writer. I am currently in my first TV writing fellowship where I am being mentored by some awesome showrunners, and I'm here to basically talk about the mistakes that you should and should not make as a baby writer in Hollywood. Hollywood is small and word travels fast, and I'm not saying that if you do any of these things you won't succeed, but it's a whole lot easier to win out here when you avoid these mistakes. And I've made some of these also. So I'm not preaching to the choir, I'm preaching to myself. I'm just saying, don't be like me. My number one rule would be good at taking notes on your work, especially if it's from someone who knows more and has been in the industry longer than you. We are all artists and we are all sensitive about our but say thank you when notes are given. You can ask them to expound, you can ask them to elaborate, you can ask them to explain it more, but you can't fight it. If you have more questions, you can say, hey, can you explain what you meant? I don't understand how that came across. I don't understand how I can better execute it, but just don't argue. A sign that you're a baby writer is that you can't take notes. It looks unprofessional, and if you're a baby writer, it's easier to write you off and not want to work with you again if you are bad at taking notes. If you get emotional and start huffing, it's just not okay. So we all think our scripts are perfect. We all sitting there and we're like, ooh, this scene is about to kill, I'm the best, and then you hear it read in front of other people and stuff just does not hit. So you're never as good as you think you are, so just take the notes. Have your draft done when you say you will. You don't want to not be ready when you're supposed to be, because TV is weekly. These people want to know if you can churn out a story in the time allotted that you have to get it done. These opportunities don't come around every day, and this career only hires a few hundred to a few thousand writers every year, so competition is fierce. And if you get the opportunity to submit a script to like a big production company or a studio exec, get it done when you say you'll get it done, or by the deadline that they give you, and turn in every draft after that when you say you will on deadline. And this doesn't just apply to when you're submitting to huge studios or like big execs. It applies when you have to turn in scripts to your friends, to your writer groups, whoever. Build the habit up now so that it's already natural for you once the opportunities in Hollywood start to pop up. Number 3, don't lie about who you worked with. This town is small, I've said this already. And most likely one giant or medium level person has worked with most of the other giants or medium level people. So don't lie to seem more connected or experienced than you really are, because they will fact check. There is no need for it, and if you stick around long enough, you'll become the person that you're telling people that you actually are. There are no shortcuts, and you just look silly because people fact check and say, have you ever worked with so-and-so? And then they'll be like, no, I don't know who that person is. And then they write you off automatically. So don't lie. Don't burn bridges, even if the other person is actively pouring kerosene all over that bridge. Don't be the one to light the match. I have wanted to tell out a many of people, and there have been moments that I deserve to tell off that person. And there have been bridges burned crispy. But again, don't do as I do, do as I say. And I'm no longer burning bridges because I've learned not to. And there are people in this industry who will talk to you like worse than anybody that's blood related to you can talk to you. And sometimes you just have to suck it up and let the work speak for yourself. I literally have a friend who reminds me, he's like, let the work speak for yourself. And so you send it off, and then the work will speak. Because one day, they're gonna need you. They're gonna need your work in order to get paid. Wait till that day, because that revenge is so sweet. It's the sweetest. Super sweet. Humble yourself. Hey, baby writer, you're not that good, and that is okay. We all start out not that good, and that is okay too. We all think we're the shit when we're writing in a vacuum. I think all my ideas are brilliant until I hear them read in front of other people, and then I see what hits and what doesn't hit. So stop telling people you're the next best thing, because you're not yet. You could be, but you're not yet. I'm not yet. Nobody is yet. Humble yourself. People like you more, and you're easier to work with. More people want to work with you. Just take it down a few notches. Don't compare your progression to your friends. This industry is volatile. One day you're hot and one day you're not, and it's literally that quickly. Don't put stock in your career when you're comparing it to your friends. So here's a quick story about me. A lot of my friends work in TV now. They're either writers or assistants, or they're actually like staffed on shows, and it's because they've worked their way up from being assistants at multiple production companies, and they find the right person who will maybe mentor them, and that mentor will want to keep them at the same position because they're a great personal assistant to that person, but the friend is like, I want to be a writer like you. And so you never know what situation a person is actually in because you can't see it from the outside. All you see is, wow, that person works on this show or that show, and their season premiere parties look so fun. So you never really know. Like with all of us in quarantine, no one knows what's happening with the industry. The rules are changing, like literally as we speak. Like right now, as you're watching this, rules are changing. So I'll be back with some updated rules because whatever's going on now, no one really knows how we're going to continue. So don't compare, because a lot of people are going to be without jobs. A lot of people are just winging it now, you know? So stay on whatever track it is that you feel that you need to stay on. The next one is, if you want to talk to a particular agent, don't stalk them or bug them endlessly. Send a query. Then as you garner more and more accomplishments, send those to them. I repeat, do not stalk them. Don't stalk them, don't bug them. Don't send them multiple emails a week. They get 1 million emails. These people are busy, which is why I like to let the higher ups come to me, become so good that they have to come to you. Like, this is a game, bruh and sis. Hey, drop breadcrumbs that will let them know that you are who they want to be working with. Let them know you've worked with such and such, or you got into a fellowship, or you won a screenwriting competition. Drop breadcrumbs that will let them know that you are who they want to be working with. Slowly, patiently, this is a long game. Also, with some people, all you have is one chance. I had the opportunity to submit to Disney last year, and if your script doesn't pass all of the criteria that they have, they'll never let you submit again. Luckily, my script passed, but if I had submitted when I wasn't ready, I would have never gotten that opportunity again. So take it seriously, take your time. This is a long game, and remember that. This one is super important. Oh my God, and I've run into people like this 1 million times. Have more than one sample. In fact, you should have so many samples that you don't know which one to choose from in order to send in. Writing never stops. You should never not be brainstorming ideas or outlining or something geared towards getting another story out. Last year, I wrote 4 pilots, 5 short films. Oh my God, what else? So many outlines. And I also feel like the more you create, the more creative energy comes to you. And so keep creating, because that makes more creativity come. Have someone read your work before you send it in. Don't send anything, don't send no script, don't send nothing in to nobody without first having it looked at. On the simple side, you could have spelling errors that you didn't catch, and on the large side, you could have whole story plot holes that you overlooked, which is not a good look to any reader. A reader will only diligently read the first 10 pages of your script. And if your spelling and grammar is horrible, they won't commit the energy to giving the rest of it a full read because you didn't put the energy in submitting a solid piece of work. Get notes, then take those notes, always, from people who know what they're talking about, always, and press on. And my final one, which is what I'm working on this year a whole lot, is don't not submit to a competition out of fear. I know that was a double negative, but I'm going to explain. I am basically saying submit. I just recently did not submit to a fellowship because I didn't think I was ready. Then someone I know submitted and got in, and I was like, man, I definitely should have turned my script in. You know, and I have doubts about my work like any other person. I doubt if people will care about my story. I doubt if anyone wants to hire a woman who stutters. I doubt if my scripts are funny enough. I doubt all of that, but you can't get into these programs meant to forward your career if you don't take that chance. Also, these competitions know who submits yearly, and they like to see the growth of the writer. So you have a better chance of getting in the program the second, third, or fourth time because they see that you're serious about it. Now, you know, some competitions or fellowships cost money. I usually enter the Big 4, and then I'll also enter a select few really great programs that are backed by really solid people in the industry, like Nickelodeon has one for animation and Sundance, and so I will apply to those. And another reason to apply is because these competitions let you know how you measure up against the pool of screenwriters that are out there. I'm competitive, so I'm always trying to see who I have to square up against. But, you know, overall, take a chance on yourself. If you believe your script is the best that you can get it at that point, then submit it. Now, I know this was a lot of information. Come back to this video, rewatch it, take notes, and be great. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you want to see a web series that I wrote, I will link Crescendo here. And each episode gets better and better and better. I'm not the one saying that. These are people in the comment section. I wish you the best on your screenwriting journey, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Bye. Write them scripts. Stop procrastinating. Write them scripts, y'all. Hey, so I'm coming back to you guys with another screenwriting video. If you missed my other one, I talk about some of the tips and tricks that I did use to get into the fellowship that I'm in. I also list a few things that you must do to become a good, solid writer with a solid writing career. I'm on that path, but the things that I have been doing are working, so I'll link that as well.